Dear Chidera, at the end of 2024, I would love to have over 400,000 naira and more in savings. Now, this is what you should write to yourself today, while watching this video as a letter. And even if it's not 2024, even if it's in next year, make sure you write it to ensure that you are telling yourself what you want to do. How can I ever be defeated? Hey guys, my name is Chidera Genevieve Marizu, and you're welcome to Bloom with Chidera. Sit tight and let's bloom together. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we're talking about how to save over 400,000 and more at the end of 2024. Okay, so you're wondering, why should I listen to you? Are you a finance person? Well, I think I am somebody you should listen to because I have been very terrible at saving money. Yes, very terrible at saving money. I could earn a whole lot of money, but at times my own issue is financial management and then saving it, right? So management is under saving. So I have been struggling with those areas. But something made a massive impact in my life in 2023, which is I joined a class called Bachelor of Money, hosted by a guy, Emmanuel Akpe. Yes, so and in that particular class, he asked us to read three books. And one of the books that I read is titled The Richest Man in Babylon. If you want, I can create a video on that. So just type below Richest Man in Babylon. I'll create a video on the entire book and I will discuss all the points with you, breaking it down to the tiniest bits possible. So, in that particular book, I read and understood that I need to put out a little portion of everything I make every month. In fact, every day and every month. But to be on a safe side, you can do that every month. And that little portion you're putting out will serve as your saving. To be able to achieve any particular saving goal whatsoever, you need to, in fact, any saving amount, you need to have a goal, right? You need to have a reason why you are saving that money. For me, at the end of 2024, I would love to use the money I'm saving for the widows around me, for the motherless home, and then for the prison. So these three areas. However, I'm going to split the money into about three sessions. So even if I don't hit the prisons, I'm going to reinvest the money into school fees for other students in January of 2025. That's my plan. So at the end of 2024, I desire to at least have saved over 400,000 naira and more, whereby I would say 100,000 goes to motherless home, 100,000 goes to the widows, then the other 200,000 will be reinvested into students for their WAEC registration. At the moment, at my in my current location, WAEC registration is about 40,000 naira. Now, 200,000 naira can help me cover over four students, right? So I'm looking at covering three and then using the remaining 50,000 naira to sort out maybe sanitaries or books for young girls around me. So this is like my very skeptic plan. I've not really drafted it, but I just know how much I want to save, and I know that I want to use it for the widows, motherless babies, to invest in children's school fees, especially those writing WAEC, and then sanitaries, maybe those in my church or still those children that I'm sending back to school, give them sanitaries to start up the new year. This is my plan. Okay, now in 2023, when I joined that particular class, that class was around July, August. Being able to save requires consistent, like it must be repeated, a consistent effort. If you cannot be consistent, you won't be able to save. It requires that you do it bit by bit. Now, I'm not saying you should just take 100,000 bam today and drop in a particular account, then maybe after 6 months. No, it is going to be a constant effort to make sure that you achieve it. In 2023, after the Bachelor of Money class, I told myself that I was going to do my best to make sure that I save a particular amount. Now, I wrote it in one of my jotters. I stated how much I was going to save on my different saving platforms. I even had what we call Akawo. So I think some people call it oja. I forgot what they call it, but then I was paying money to this particular woman in the question of like to get savings and foodstuffs at the end of the year. Like that was my third plan. I also had two other platforms that were debiting me weekly and monthly from like they were debiting from my account because I had put my card on those platforms, and that was what I wanted. So at times I even go back and then do a particular amount, for example something higher, just to raise the bar up. Now at the end of 2023, at about July, because I needed sorry November, because I needed the money seriously in November, I had saved over 270,000 naira as of November 2023. Now I am raising the bar up to do 400,000 and more in 2024 because I have seen the impact saving had on me in 2023. I want to do more for myself and those around me. Not just because I want to have more money in the new year, but because I believe that with one, two, three things that I will put in place, everything will align. Now, how am I going to achieve it? Which is also what you can do. How can you achieve gaining a particular amount by the end of 2024? Please, number one, you must have a goal. Why do you want to save that money? It could be for school, it could be for something, but why do you plan on saving that particular money? What is your why? Two is that you're going to track your income and your expenses. You need to know how much you have, how much you're spending, how much you are making, like how you are using this money that you have, right? So one thing I know that at times consumes my money is my data. Ha! MTN, those guys, they've messed me up. Yeah, I know. In fact, I checked how much I've spent since 2020 to now, and I was like, wow, MTN has certainly opened a bank on my head. So you need to track your income and your expenses. Point three, after tracking your income and expenses, you need to increase your income streams. In the book of Genesis, I am a Christian, so I teach with the Bible. In the book of Genesis, the Bible tells me that the river, the Garden of Eden, was watered by four streams. Four streams. My mentor, late one king, taught severally, and he said every child of God should at least have four streams of income.
The reality of this season shows that you cannot survive with one source of income. And that has always been said in the Bible from Genesis. Genesis chapter 2, verse 10 says that there were four rivers that were watering the Garden of Eden: Gishon, Fishon, Hiddekel, Euphrates, and there were different things in there to water the garden. First of all, if you are a Christian, if you are somebody that is of faith, you must have a minimum of four sources of income. Anything less than that is an abuse of the mandate. That is my message to you. Go and start thinking and stop praying too much. God expects you to work and be.
To be honest, at times I even struggle to build like three consistent streams. I don't know, I have been doing it wrongly, but this 2024 I will do it better and I'll do it right. Right? So I have always struggled to build my income streams, but it won't be the case. Alright guys, so if you're watching this video, so quickly head now to the link in my description box and place an order on my Christmas collection. My shops are available, my clothing lines are available, so please place an order on my clothing line. Also, you can get my books available on Amazon. I have a gratitude journal that you could use to show gratitude in the entire year of 2024. So quickly go and place an order on the gratitude journal and also place an order on my merch. So here they are on the screen. This is my merch store, and then here are my books on Amazon. So quickly head right away and place an order to sort out ways whereby you can increase your income streams. If it needs you to host classes, to teach, to do one job or the other just to increase the money that comes in, fine. Try your best to increase your income streams. You cannot depend on just one source of income. It is a no, 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 no. Now, point four, when this money comes in as a Christian, don't forget, pay your tithes. Your tithe is 10% of whatever has come in. 10% of that money is your tithe. When you take out your 10%, then from the other 90%, do your planning, do your saving. For me, what I do is this. For example, if I've earned 40,000 in this month of December, I will pay my tithe 10%, which is 4,000 naira. I will save another 10%. This is another what? 4,000 naira. I'll pull out another 4,000 naira. I'm left with what? 32,000 naira. That 32,000 naira now, I will then split it into the 50 and 30 rule, right? Because in the savings like the money management scheme, they will say 50, 30, 20. Use 50 for necessities, 30 for emergency, 20 should be reserved, something like that. Method here is a method of breaking down your finances. Like what I was saying, the 100%. So 20% go for savings, 50% goes to needs, and 30% goes to wants. So you can use this. Being broken down, but I just told you how I do mine. So for example, if I've earned 40,000, 4,000 is my tithe, another 4,000 again goes to savings, compulsory, right? Then I now spread out the remaining money. I tell myself this portion goes for hair, this portion goes for clothes, this portion goes for school, and this other portion goes for other things. And the other portion too, I will still add it into my spending account, because you need to have money you're going to spend. You cannot be spending out of your savings. You need money for transportation, so that money should be in your spending account, not in your saving account. I've also had someone talk about have different accounts. One account is for income, the other account is for spending, the third account should be for savings, the other fourth account should be for emergencies. So it's up to you how you want to break it down, but make sure that when you break it down, you strictly what? Follow it. You're not careless with your finance. Reduce your expenses, reduce your spending. If you're going to be able to save well, you need to make sure that your expenses are below your income. Your expenses cannot be more than your income. For example, me, I had that issue for some time. These were high. I also got into lots of trouble. It got me into debt. Now, to hear my debt story and how I've been able to build myself out of it, check in the link in the description box. You will see my podcast on how to get out of debt. In case you're struggling with your finances and you are in serious debt right now, please check it and watch those videos. Help yourself plan and know how you can be able to elevate yourself out of that terrible debt you have fixed yourself into. Trust me, you will need it. Now, 7, you need to take baby steps. Baby steps are important. So, like I said at first, don't think of saving 100,000 this month, another month 100,000, unless you have that massive amount of money. But for me, it doesn't count. You could do 1,000 naira every day. In fact, 1,000 is too much. For me, what I did, let me break it down to you. In the first platform, I did 800 naira every week. The akawo I did with the women, like the market women, I did 200 naira every day. One. The second one was 300 naira every day. So practically, I was saving 500 naira from here from the akawo every day. That's about 500 times 7 is about 3,500 naira every week, right? Then I was also saving 800 naira every week from this side. Now, on the other platform, I was saving I think 1,000 naira weekly. But at times, I could just throw in larger amounts of money. At times, I was not even fixing a particular amount on the third account. I was just putting different amounts. At times, I could put 10,000 today, tomorrow 2,000, tomorrow 1,000. I was just placing different amounts that, like excess income I had, I was just throwing it in there, because for me, I wasn't using the money, so why not I just throw in. These are the platforms that are used, and you can find them in the link in the description box. I also place my referral links on the screen. So guys, when you use my referral link, I do not get money from you, no, but I get a portion because you have used my link or you have used my referral code. Number one I used was piggyvest. Piggyvest is owned by a Nigerian, and since I'm in Nigeria, I decided to use it. In fact, for you to be able to save more money, you can use high interest savings banks or high interest savings accounts. You cannot use the random banks. For example, in Nigeria we have Access Bank, Zenith, GTB, and so on. You cannot use those banks to save, because for example, if you want to save 1 million naira, the interest on that, like the the interest from that money will not be even be up to 100,000 in the next 10 years. It's the simple truth. So you have to use high interest savings account. Now, one example is OPay. So for me, what I used was OPay. I used an OPay account. The link is down below in the description box. Also, I used my Piggy Vest. Piggy Vest was formed by a young lady in Nigeria, and it has also helped me to save. On Piggy Vest, I was saving 800 naira every week. On OPay, I was just dumping money there, any amount I had. And I noticed with OPay that every day at about 7 a.m. or whether 6 a.m. I'll get a notification of my interest. So they were showing me how much interest was accruing on the money I had saved. So the more I saved the money, the more the interest kept on what? Rising. So even I think as at when I had saved up to 80,000 naira thereabout on OPay, my interest was about 200 and something naira, which is rare, in fact, which is not possible with a random bank. So use a high interest savings account to gain this much. Do you understand me? There are also there are other apps or banks you can use, but these are the two that I used in 2023 that I will still use in 2024. Now the third one that I did was that I used the market women, the ajo, the akawo pattern. Yes, that you just be dropping money and then they'll sign a card. If possible, I will take a picture of my cards and I will show it to you on the screen. So that is what I did. I had one for 2,000 naira every month for the akawo. I had another one that was sorry, one was 2,000 naira every month. The second one was 300 naira every day. Yes, that's it. So 300 naira every day in a month, about 9,300. 10 times 12 days. Sorry, 12 months, and you know how much came out of it, right? So that's actually what I did, and it made a whole impact for me. So this here we are talking about now is point 8, the different platforms you can use. There are other platforms too that I'm sure that are in your own regions, in your own region, please. So find out the high interest yield accounts that you could use in saving money and start up with them. Also, if you can use the local pattern of having a small piggy box and putting money inside, fine, that's a good one. Use it. For me, I just felt, why doing that method if I know that my itchy hands will let me go and break it? So for me, when I was just dumping the money in OPay and piggyvest, I wasn't tempted to go and break it. I told myself, you must not touch this money until the end of the year, and I did it. So if you can use a piggy bank, like a physical piggy bank, fine. If you could use a box, a piggy box, or a piggy bank, whichever one, fine. If you could use the OPay account or piggyvest, good for you. I think there are other platforms too that will give you a high interest yield account. So whichever one you want to use them and save more money. If possible, you can lock your funds for the next 1 year. Lock your funds, it will still accrue a large amount of what? Interest. Alright, so guys, number 9, be intentional. You need to be intentional on all your savings. Please be intentional. Be intentional to save. Yes, I'm speaking to myself because 2023, um like play, I said in February to save, and I didn't believe I was going to be able to. In fact, as of August, I was saying I wanted to break my savings, but I still continued till at about late part of November, when when it became very urgent for me to use the funds. So trust me, in November, in 2024, this time 2024, at about 22nd or 20, okay, let me say 20th of December 2024, I would love to have saved over 400,000 naira next, like the upper year. That is my plan on why I want to save money. So I know that why I'm saving this money, because I want to impact other people's life. See, I am a light. The Bible tells in Matthew chapter 5 verse 13 that ye are the light of the world. I am the light. I am a light to my generation. So I know that people are actually looking up to me. They are waiting for me. So I cannot dim my light. I can't be the one to hide myself under a bushel. I am a light. I will shine. I will impact the lives of others, and I'll do as much as I can to make sure that someone out there is happy because they came in contact with me. So thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to hurry now to the description box. Click all the links I just mentioned to you, the OPay link, the piggyvest link. Use my links, use my referral codes, and sign up on these platforms and start saving. Also, two, don't forget to check my merch store and order an outfit today. Please order a t-shirt, order books from my Amazon store. Please order. I need more money. These are my sources of income and I need more money. Please do well to order. Thank you so much for watching this video. Until another time, take care of yourself and bye.